Well, welcome everybody. I was wondering how that worked. The countdown, that is. I wasn't sure if that would pop into me or not. So cool. I like using that. Gives everybody a heads up. So how is everyone doing? You got Murray in there. Thanks, Laurette. Max, appreciate it. Piper, as always. Bigfoot Anon. Man, your shorts are fantastic. I sure enjoy them. Good stuff, man. They're funny. They're informative. They're entertaining. You got the package. Barry, how you doing? Appreciate you being here. I'll wait a few more seconds. See if we get anybody else. Hey, Tim, how you doing? Appreciate you being here. I got a serious talk tonight, and I'm pretty nervous about it, but I think it's solid. I'm gonna read an outline or deliver an outline that I think is thoughtful and on point, about a direction I think I need to go, how I think I want to move forward in this Bigfoot realm. And I only worked on it today. I probably did this in an hour. I will say that I've had a couple sleepless nights trying to figure out how to present it. And I think I have it in a way that it's solid, and appreciative to everybody I've met on channels and gone out with in person, from Tim T and Marie and Stan and all the various different teams. Man, and I don't think that's going to stop. I'm just going to change the way I go about it. So that's what I wanted to talk tonight about. And I'm going to wait and let a few more here get in. I got two screens open on one screen, guys. So I can't tell if I should just kind of get into it or not. And those that are late can catch the rewind. Sorry, I just got a Clubhouse. I don't know if you guys are in the Clubhouse, a new app that Tactical Bigfoot Mike hooked me up with. It's Clubhouse. It's basically just an online chat, and you get alerts whenever they start a conference room. They buzz you in. It's pretty cool. You can be on it with 5 people, 6 people, 10 people. You're in the waiting room, you're on stage, and you raise your hand, and there's a way they clap. It's really cool. If you haven't checked out Clubhouse, Google it. I think it does require an invite. So if anybody wants to get on Clubhouse, shoot me an email, and I will shoot you an invite. I think I only have 10. You're allowed to invite 10 people. So anyway, I have a little something that I had done before that I'm just gonna, if you all give me the leeway, I'm gonna go ahead and play this again, because it kind of ties into, hey, Francisca, thank you, appreciate you being here. It kind of ties into what I'm talking about tonight, and I think this is the here I am saying it's serious, man. This is serious stuff, but it's my Bigfoot TED Talk. So if you all know what a TED Talk is, they're little 20-minute TED Talks. Maybe this would be good for a Bigfoot conference. I don't know. Maybe they wouldn't appreciate it. I don't know. But it's kind of meant for that kind of audience. Kind of a let's get serious sort of thing. So let me play something here, and most of you all have seen it, but I'm gonna play it again, and it gives you a good direction. I think we got 25 in, according to me. There's probably more. I can't see all this. I'm a one-man band. If you all saw my setup, I got an iPhone on a stand. I got my laptop. I have my notes open as a teleprompter tonight, because I don't want to screw this up. I just want to kind of get through it. And if it's a 30-minute show, it's a 30-minute show. I have no guest planned, no visuals other than what I'm going to play right now. So without further ado, let me bring something in. Let me bring it up. Okay. I produced that a while back. It has been a while since I produced that. And it was originally the mantra for my channel. Kind of the way I hope to move forward. And I've done my best to do that. So now I'm going to cover up my ugly my ugly mug. Watch me close out my notes. And just try to get through this. You guys in the chat, just hold your questions to the end. If you got anything, if you all want to continue to say hello, that's fine. I'm just going to get through this, and I have no visuals for it. I'm just going to lay it out. So here you go. It's a warning to all trying to get serious for once. I know I have a lot of fun. I joke a lot with you guys. I have fun with my guests. That's anybody who knows me, who's been around me, knows that. I started this channel December 1st, a year and a half ago. So it's December 1st, 2019. I started saying 99. Oh, God. Oh, 2019, December 1st. This is my 77th video. So believe it or not, this live is my 77th. I do count the lives as videos. One day I'm going to go back and I'm going to clean up the videos and put a number in front of them just so I can keep track. I think that'd be cool because I had no idea. I thought I had like 50. I had no idea I had 77. So anyway, tonight is my Bigfoot TED Talk. So if any of y'all have seen a TED Talk, there's long ones, there's short ones, there's each state has a TED Talk. This may or may not be something for a Bigfoot conference. I don't think it would be appreciated, and I know why. That's fine. Or maybe it would be, but I'm going to go on. So tonight, I want to talk about how I'm going to go about moving forward and why. And it's regarding my my change of direction. One-man band here, man. I'm clicking two screens. It's crazy. Why the change of direction and thought process behind the move? And it's as simple as this. I want to be a productive member of the Bigfoot community. And I'll repeat it. I would like to be viewed and considered a productive person trying to move the ball forward in the Bigfoot community. That is why I think I need a change. I feel I started to do the same. I feel I'm starting to do the same videos over and over again. I feel like as I watch footage from this month to last month to last month to last month, I have that footage. I have all the B-roll I need of me walking through the woods. The footage is starting to look the same. And I ask myself, where is my research element? I mean, I know a picture's worth 1,000 words, a video's worth more. But where is my research element? What am I bringing to the table other than my videos? It's like I'm talking about, the knowledge of my location. Do I really know, like Tactical Bigfoot Mike, when we were out with him over at Central Florida, somewhere in the Lakeland area, he asked us early on, and I did it went over my head. What's the history of the area? I don't know. I'm just out trying to capture a Bigfoot. So my research element and my research is missing. The knowledge of the location, the history of sightings, water, food sources, animals in the area, and that sort of thing. I'm also wanting a change of direction because other channels, and I got to say this gingerly, and somebody, I mean, there's people saying it, and it just needs to be said. It just needs to be said by as many people as possible. So, but some people are distorting or changing a narrative, or they're creating a narrative that's right for them. The reasons It could be clicks, it could be subs, it could be whatever. But I see, and we all do. And if you tell me you're not, you're lying. Everybody has a narrative for their channel. Everybody is doing things for a reason, whether it's to be popular, subs, clicks, I don't know. But in my feed, I don't know about you guys, but in my feed, I'm getting tired of seeing all these narratives that's not moving us forward. And there's a lot of good, I mean, everyone I've met are good people. Everybody I enjoy being with. I'm not talking about my crew here. I'm talking about people I met at the Bigfoot conference and people I met online from Carrie Arnold to Pat Turner to Stardust Beast. Everybody's good people. There's good people out there. And I just think we need to use some of those people as examples. And I just wish the community was more supportive of each other, and not offended when questions are asked, because everybody saw me. I reacted when I got questioned about the calls the other day. I got questioned hard, and I realized what was happening, and I realized my shortcomings on the research side. So the false, sensational, and for pure entertainment narratives, I'm personally getting sick of, and I'm starting to just weed those channels out of my feed. I want feeds that feed me educationally, that tell me about bushcraft, that tell me about wood knocks and hypothesis and theories about wood knocks and what the bends and breaks are. Do they mean anything, or is it just natural? I mean, I follow bends and breaks. Everybody knows that, but I've also been real careful, and I've known it from day one. My out on that is that I'm a fine art photographer, and I photograph nature, and I'm photographing the landscapes, and I'm focusing on bends and breaks, whether or not they're Bigfoot or not. So I've kind of always stuck to that. But then every now and then you get out there and you go, oh, this is really cool. This is a Bigfoot. I don't think I've ever said that, but if I did, I didn't intend to. And that's what I'm talking about, though. You get caught up in narratives. You get caught up in the excitement of who you're with or what you're hearing from other channels. And that I need to check myself. Okay. I think there's a lot of us that need to check ourselves. More importantly, the change of direction is to just know that I can do better. I had someone call me out the other day on the video with Mike and Marie. And man, at first I went, what? Are you, dude, really? And the comment was, hey, Central Florida, I expected better videography from you. You should know better. And I went, wow, that was like a gut punch. And I wrote back, well, did you see my comment of why I said it up front? I even said it on the video, why I am going in with my camera on a monopod. But, people expect a certain standard. And once you set it and you slip below it, that is why the chat, you guys are everything to moving us forward by your questions, your honesty. I don't like ugly people in the chat. There's this one girl, woman, whatever, comes by and just leaves nasty comments like, hey, you all believe in this crap? Whatever, go somewhere else. My channel is not for you. I'm going to say it again. Go somewhere else. My channel's not for you. I'm not pulling the wool over anybody's eyes. I'm out as a documentarian, and I'm working with people. And have I got caught up in the hype and the excitement of finding new things? I'm human. I do. Yes, I did. And I didn't see that until recently. And that's why I think I need to change. And I thought about it hard. Okay. So I want to talk about what is the goal. And the goal is to prove Bigfoot exists, right? That's what we're all here for. I'm a skeptic. I've never seen it. I'm a believer. I'm not a knower, as channels say. A knower. I don't know. I won't know until I see it for myself. I got blasted for saying on one show that um, that I won't really trust people wholeheartedly unless I can see them tell their story and I can get a feel for what they're saying. My phone's getting ready to. You're going to hear a big crash in a minute. I think my phone stand's going to pop off the thing, so I'm just going to ignore it when it happens. But anyway, I digress. I forgot where I was at. But being a knower, I believe, and I love a mystery. I love the hunt. I have a lot of kid in me. I grew up on Scooby-Doo and the Mystery Machine. I just love the fact that if this is a hoax, it's the best one ever in history. And I believe even more in the year and a half I've been out, I believe it is possible for something to be in the woods that we don't know about. And I can say that 100%. I believe it's possible that something that big could be in the woods that we don't know about, from what I've seen, from what I've heard. And you only get that knowledge from going out and doing it yourself. That's the only way you can get that knowledge of feeling when you see the woods and you drive down the interstate in Florida and you realize Florida seems packed. Florida seems crowded. Florida seems paved over. But when you get in Florida and you really drive the interstate, there is wild woods, forest, swamp that people have not even been in. I can show you places in the Tampa city limits where I doubt anybody has walked in 30, 40 years. So, yeah, there's probably homeless people in there, but it's worth exploring, and I like exploring it. Whew, there's a lot, guys. So the goal is to prove Bigfoot exists. And I think what I'm trying to do is the goal is to capture movement. In my opinion, all the way down of everything I say in this video, please, in my opinion, the goal is to capture movement. No still photos are allowed in proving the existence of Bigfoot, according to me, my opinion. Still photos lends itself to pareidolia, and video lends itself to pareidolia, as I just proved in the PSA I opened with. I filmed that, saw it, realized it wasn't real, but decided to film it anyway. And when I got back, I went, man, wouldn't that make a good, I could post that. And you guys, not you guys, I think my chat's a little smarter than the average bear. But there's a lot of people that would click on that. This is great. You did it again, Matt, blah, blah, blah. And it's garbage. And so I made a PSA out of it because that's what I do at a TV station. We run public service announcements. So that's what I did. And I think it's an effective PSA. The audio was fake. The video was branches and leaves. The only thing I didn't do is walk up and show you exactly what it was. I think I can't remember who said that. Someone said, well, did you get just a still shot real close to show them what they were looking at? And I went, no, because to me it was obvious. But it was creepy. I literally thought I had a gremlin looking at me through the bush, right? So no still photos, video only. It needs to move. And I want to collect evidence. My goal moving forward is to collect evidence and not miles and miles of footage. And right now, and my crew knows that I go out with, they're still waiting on videos that I went out with a month ago. And that gives me anxiety, knowing that I have that much footage I haven't done anything with. And I didn't know why I wasn't doing anything with it. But to tell you the truth, I didn't really know how to proceed because, in my opinion, nothing much was happening. But I was rolling camera because I believe, in my opinion, you have to be rolling almost all the time you're out there, or you're going to miss that 3 seconds that everyone claims they get. So I ran video, but there's, it's a bunch of friends out enjoying the woods, and I love that. I wouldn't, I miss that, if I weren't doing it. But I need to focus on the evidence and not just miles of footage. I like gathering information. I want to gather information. I'm not doing a very good job of the written word. I need to learn from others, which I think I have been doing. I've been blessed with, man, I got the best of the best helping me. I got, I'm going to start calling them the elders, even though I think I'm actually older than they are. So I have the elders, and I have a couple secret people that reach out to me through my channel that early on attacked me and said we were all idiots. Everybody I went out with was idiots. We're all a bunch of clowns. We don't know how to hunt. We don't know how to descent ourselves. We're wearing the wrong clothes. We're not standing still enough. You're out just tromping through the woods looking like fools, and you're embarrassing me. That was just an unknown person that started writing me. The one thing cool about that is that person now, him and I talk regularly. I would call him a friend. He's reached out. He's given me some advice. A lot of it's really weird advice. And I'm going, wow, what does this guy know? What is this guy? This guy really seems to know something. It's strikingly scary how much this person knows that's been reaching out to me. And I don't know why he picked me. But I listen to everything he says. I do. And I try to think about it when I'm out there, and I try to apply it. And that's coming from anybody. Things I learned from Odyssey, from Squatch Talk, from Leon to Curious Cryptid. I take all of that, and I may not be able to repeat the words and the scientific words that they use, but I do remember it. And when it comes forward, I will apply it. Like, what would I do if a Sasquatch pops out 20 feet from me? You know, you have to think about stuff like that. You almost have to rehearse it. I have a couple ideas. One's just a hilarious joke that I hope would be understood, but I'm not going to share that right now. But it'd be a survival technique of something trying not to act like you're afraid and trying not to jump out of your socks. I practice walking in the backyard from corner to corner because I got a big backyard, just to make sure that I'm not afraid of my own backyard. You know, and I had someone last week and last month tell me, dude, you just need to go out and camp by yourself. You need to go out and stay overnight by yourself and be in your own skin. And that's one of the challenges I'm going to accept. So, and the last is more vetting of findings as opposed to just publishing videos. I think a lot of people are guilty of this. We make a good video, we put it together. I usually go through a little bit more detail than the average person, and not counting your Justin Cherepinski's who's making documentaries. Mine aren't documentaries. I don't know what mine are. Mine are journalism packages. Is what I would call them. But I try to get them out there, and there's some stuff in there that we find, like in the Camp Out Part 1. Should I have gotten other people's reactions? Should I have published that private and shared it with people I trust, with knowledgeable people, and say, can I run with this? What do you think? I mean, is this hurting the community or helping it, and why? And make the edits. I don't know, but that's kind of the direction I'm going. That's what I'm thinking. Okay. The learning process. I didn't click on that. Trying to use all my elements here, guys. I've done pretty good. I was on another channel the other night, and I talked about how far behind I am being a city boy, not a farm boy, not a country boy, not a person just really skilled in that. So while everybody else is griping about, and this is, I'm blasting people, but I shouldn't even have said it that way. While other people say they don't have the time to learn photography and to try to do a better job, and that's my mission in this channel too, is the educational side. look what I've done. I mean, not to say, look at me, pat myself on the back, but I've learned Premiere. I've learned video editing. Guys, that's like 50 hours of video time. I got into iMovie. I learned how to do titles. I learned how to do that magnification bubble to add a little drama. That's another point. Should I add drama? Am I doing a long zoom and a bubble to show clarity of the landscape? But when I bring the music up, am I adding drama that doesn't necessarily need to be there? I like it. And I think people see it for what it is. I mean, you have to have some layer of interest. And I give it a little production value, but I want to watch about going too far. But I learned how to do a YouTube channel. I never thought I'd be doing this in a million years. I never thought I'd have 77 videos under my belt. And I learned from watching others that connectivity, when you have a channel, is the key. I'm sitting here in my shed, 90 feet from my modem and my whatever it's called. But I've seen other people having glitch problems when they had people on. I got 4 bars. I got 4 bars here. I got 4 bars in my trailer right outside the door. I got 4 bars in the house, all directions. I put in a mesh system, MESH, mesh. And it's a way to magnify that signal and keep your strength at 4 bars. Plus, I upped it so I had that upload capacity where I'm not blinking and glitching. You all know, my first lives, they were horrible. I was freezing. But I took care of it. I took care of it because I was somewhat serious about trying to do this. I learned the learning process. Stabilization is a key. My first couple of videos, I didn't have an iPhone on a gimbal because I was watching all the other channels. I was following the other channels. This is the way you go out and do a Bigfoot video. You walk around with your shaky iPhone and you get a bunch of clips and you put them together real quick and you post it. Stabilization is everything. I think also better cameras are the key. I proved that with my Lumix. I think you need better cameras. I think you need better optics. I think we need to quit shooting everything with a GoPro fisheye. And they're basically almost a fisheye, guys. They don't see past 30 feet. I mean, yeah, you'll see forest, blue sky, and it looks pretty. But if you're trying to see detail of a deer past 40, 50 feet, and you're blowing it up, you're just blowing up and creating blob squatches. And I see that a lot. And more importantly, as you saw the last couple of weeks, owls, animals can make different sounds. I'm a city boy. I've never heard an owl do that. I've heard when I did that owl and we captured that owl, that day and the next day, I listened to over 1,000 bird calls trying to ID the owl. Let me glance over here for a minute. Do I have anybody here still? Oh, I got 58. Wow. So I'm like thinking here, dude, you're talking to yourself. Nobody's listening. Nobody cares. Sorry, that thought just entered my head. But anyway, owls. Man, that was embarrassing. I listened to every owl. My first inclination was to go to a barred owl. And I did. And I listened to 15 calls. I went to another bird app, listened to another 8 calls. There was nothing close. I went, dude, there's no owl in this. Somebody else said a fowl. I went and listened to cranes. I went and listened to turkeys and all sorts of stuff. Every one of those, over 1,000. When I listened to it and had my eyes closed and really thought about it, it was a bird. What I heard and what Mike heard and what Marie heard the other night, Marie and I said, it's a bird, right? And it didn't sound like a bird. And when you're there, we went toward it, which I was proud. I was proud that this maybe it was the safety. I knew it was in a preserve behind a neighborhood, the place least likely you would look. But I think that's a good place sometimes. Maybe I felt a false insecurity that I could be drug out only 100 yards and survive. I don't know. But I never heard anything like that. And then I had a guy, thanks to the chat, you viewers, asking questions, coming back. I said, what is this? I am vetting it. I never claimed it was a Bigfoot. So I did the vetting process openly, transparently. And a guy from down in South Florida said, you know, Matt, CFB, I'm in the Everglades a lot. That's a barred owl. And I'm like, I read that and I went, I don't think so, guy. I said something. You all can look at it. I said, but thank you. I'll go look. And I went and looked. I went, no, it's not a barred owl. That guy's crazy. I went and looked at another channel. No, what did I miss? Why is he so sure it's a barred owl? I looked again. Then I stopped and I went, okay, research. How do you research that? And then I went, barred owl screams like a man. Enter. Boom. 2 videos pop up immediately of a barred owl screaming pretty much like the scream we heard. Close enough where I said, you know, that's 80% there. I'm good with that. So I'm good with that. I'm good with that. Was an owl. Location tells me it was an owl. The fact that we heard owls going in tells me it's most likely an owl, even though the owl changed its call. Why? I don't know. That's another thing interesting. Why aren't we researching why an owl will be an owl when you're away from them, but when you get closer, they change their call? So there's got to be a reason for that. So I'm on it. I'll look at that. That's interesting. But man, that threw me a little bit. But it was an owl, and there are some that are saying, well, yeah, it mimicked an owl, but a Bigfoot can mimic an owl. And what makes Sawdust so sure when he did that analysis and said it was a bird? Why is that? If a Bigfoot mimicked an owl, wouldn't it have the same visual photograph on a spectrograph that an owl has? That's a good question. I don't think he got into that. If a Bigfoot mimics something, a horse, we've heard that. We've heard cows. We've heard whistles. When they mimic a whistle, is it out of the human range still? I got homework to do, guys. That's where I need to be spending my time. I'm running, gunning, posting, and I want to be running, gunning, editing, vetting, researching. This is good. Post it. That's the change I'm going to make. And when we find out, hear, or are told by the elders that your evidence could be possibly tainted, that you possibly dramatized it a little too much, and they know it's a bird, man, I fired back. And I'll tell you who I fired back to. I fired back at Leon. And I don't cuss, but I did. I gave it to him. I said, how do you know it's an effing owl? And if it is, why don't you or a bird? He said a bird. Why don't you just tell me what bird it was? And then I went over to Pat Turner's show, and they were doing a show the next night. And Leon brings up our outing. And I went, oh, no. And he said, you know, and he mentioned me, and he was very fair. You know, he was fair. He was just describing what I posted. And you know what? If you post something and it's not right, people have every right to challenge you. They don't have a right to be an a-hole, but they have a right to challenge you. And what Leon said was, I told Matt it was a bird, but it's up to him to go find the bird. I'm not going to tell him what bird. He's forgetting about the research. Light bulb explosion. I don't sleep that night when I heard that. And if it wasn't for Pat's channel and what he does on Squatch Talk, you know, I know those guys can come off harsh sometimes. I get it. But, you know, there's not ill intent meant to it. And a lot of times when people ruffle your feathers, think of we all need to stop and think of, what are they really trying to tell me? Or what point are they really trying to make? Are they trying to be jerks? Or are they trying to say, slow down, tell me what happened, tell the story? So when people tell you what they think it is, and they have more experience than you, Mr. City Boy, listen. The learning process, tracking skills. Man, if it wasn't for Tim T, I didn't even look at the ground. That first year ago, I wasn't looking at the ground. So, man, I gotta thank Tim for that, because now I can see why his camera goes down when he I get on Tim all the time, dude. Look at the track, camera up. Bigfoot's out there. He already made the track. Look for Bigfoot out there. So, but we laugh about that. We have good time. But man, Tim and a couple of other his people, the tracking skills. Hey, I'm not saying I'm a tracker yet, but I found some tracks on my own. Let's just say that. And I look at the success of big groups going in the field. Our group, when we go big, when we go 6-7 people and we go out, what are we accomplishing at that point? It's lots of funds, it's friendship, but maybe not best practices for looking for a Bigfoot. So I don't know if you all noticed, but I always knew that was weird and not right. So whenever I said that, I justified it by saying we're scouting. We're scouting location. We're scouting for breaks and bends with the intention of doing what that I have not done. Go back, sit, and observe. Document, find evidence, report back to the elders. So we're not doing that. I'm going to pledge to get better at that. Vet my findings. I think I've always vetted findings. I've tried to. I publish, though, before I vet them. I'm guilty of that. Especially if data, however you want to say it, is associated with what needs or should be vetted. If you're doing a hike and nothing happens and you find a few tracks, I'm not saying you need to vet that. If you're out hiking, tracking, looking in the woods, you think you caught something on back camera or forward-facing camera or a zoom, I think you ought to vet it. I think it looks bad on you, and it could look bad on the whole team. That's probably one of my biggest, most valuable lessons learned this year, is the value of that. And then I wanted to say something about the chat. You guys, the followers, the subs. It's your smarts and your questions of holding us accountable. I know some people come in chat and we call them trolls. Why do we call them trolls? Shouldn't they be allowed to say what they want to say, as long as they're not being, just because they say something you don't want to hear or ask a question you don't want to hear, I shouldn't call them a troll. The couple of people I went after last week, and even the person I had that would be considered at one time a troll, called me out. It's like the troll called me out. I wouldn't call him a troll now, but back in the day, I thought he was. He called me out on an email and said, "Lighten up. Are you having fun? Why are you so harsh on criticism?" And I went, wow, okay, here's the troll of a year ago, now a good friend, calling me out. So I've had a lot of stuff happen this week, guys. Behind the scenes, between learning editing and helping people. We'll get into that. But you guys in the chat and the subs, you're important. You're important to all the channels, and I don't think you realize how important you are. But when you sub to a channel, that's good. We appreciate it. Or that channel appreciates it, in case mine isn't good. But if you keep subbing to channels that are putting out BS, that's on you. You're not moving the ball forward. That's on you. I'll say it again. It's on you. You're not moving the ball forward for liking stuff like that. Figure out what you want. Do you want to find Bigfoot, or do you just want to be in a Bigfoot play world where everything's a Bigfoot? So that's not what I'm after. And if no one's heard me that I'm serious, and I'm 61. I just turned 61. I got a couple years to do this. And half of my process of why I'm changing is also my age. Tim and those guys can kick your butt when you go out with them. Just go out with Tim T or Joey, Lone Wolf, or Marie. Marie will walk you in circles. She's leading the pack. She's a mile out and ahead of us. And when you're walking in Florida sand that's loose, man, it's tiring. So I'm coming up with what am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? What can I do better? So that's kind of where I'm at. But I do love the search and I love the mystery of Bigfoot. And that's the learning process. Okay. So I had a next steps, but I didn't make a title for it. So boo on me. So the next steps, how I plan to be different. This is what's been keeping me up. I want to make sure that the narrative that my channel puts out is balanced, is thoughtful, is considerate, and honest. I did that from day one, seeking the truth. I had it in that PSA I did almost a year ago. I kind of deviated from that a little bit. And when you get caught up in narratives of other channels, other people, maybe even your friends, it doesn't move us forward. You become part of the problem. And I want to step back a month. I told my people, it's not them, it's me. It's me. I'm falling for things that I'm seeing on other channels, or I'm falling for things that I'm even hearing possibly them say. And I need to disconnect. I'm pulling myself out for about a month. I'm not saying my channel or the lives. I'm just saying going out and shooting miles and miles and miles of more footage. I'm going to take a step back up, and I've already started researching on some other stuff. Oh, I thought I just got a bill for $1,000. I went, what? Oh, that's something else. Okay. So I want to learn. One thing I want to do is what I've been doing the last 3 days, besides beating myself up like a punching bag, is I've been going to channels, photographers, videographers shooting birds, how they're going about shooting birds, how they're setting up a blind, how they're sitting still, how they move, why they put it up, when they put it up, when they take it down. And they said something before that I knew. I totally knew this and didn't remember it. But one guy, I want to say British, but he's not. He could be from Ireland. I got his name. Anybody wants it, send it to me. But he's taking a blind out. He's going early evening or mid afternoon. He sets up a blind. He sets it up in an area. He lets it stay there, and he says the forest has to get used to it. The sounds and the critters have to get used to the blind. And I'm like, I kind of knew that. Why have I not even thought about that in the last year? And he talks about being able to now leave that blind up a day or two, get out there mid-afternoon and kind of walk by, get low, and all of a sudden disappear in it and just sit. And this guy sits for 10 hours. I'm not kidding. He sits for 10, 11 hours to get these shots. And he's getting these amazing shots of deer, of muskrats, whatever. He's getting these incredible images. And it's kind of like what somebody told me the other day. Go find the bird. If you can't find the bird and photograph the bird, how can you expect to find Bigfoot? Bring me the bird. Again, thought it was kind of an a-hole statement, but they're right. I got to go find the bird. I already know what the bird is now, but I'd still like to hunt the bird visually and capture its essence and get it making the sound. It's like when Max Powers told me at the camp out, when I heard, I saw a little cattail bird. It's a gray bird with a black black crown with a stripe down its back like it had long hair, sitting on a branch. And as soon as I turned away, it was a wood knock. And I looked back, and he didn't do it again. But the dang bird made a wood knock that you and I and any Bigfooter out there would call a wood knock. And I remember Max running over there. He goes, dude, you got to capture that on film. And I'm like, why? I'm like, I didn't understand the importance of that. So again, research, data, and bringing it forward and finding out where best to share that data. So be still, no movement, blend in, learn the way of the hunter, I wrote. Research the area. When Tactical Bigfoot Mike asked me the history of an area and whether or not there were landlines running through it, I was so dumb about that. I didn't even know I should be embarrassed. So I'm going to back up a little bit, check the areas I've been in, and really start trying to figure out a couple things, because we've been there enough. My crew, Tim's crew, whoever you want to call it, our joint working together crew, which is a great crew. We know enough about these areas that we're not stopping, my opinion. We're not stopping to put the pieces together. We're adding more pieces to the puzzle. The 1,000-piece puzzle is a 2,000-piece puzzle. The 2,000-piece puzzle is a 5,000-piece puzzle. Stop, have a meeting, gather our information. Let's talk about it. I don't think we're doing that. I need more night outings. I need more early morning outings. And next steps, continuing on, I'll continue to do live shows, but I'm not going to do them every Thursday. It's too much pressure. I get caught up in the Bigfoot wheel, of produce content, even if it's bad, produce content. What's weird is my lives are doing better than my videos. So that tells me something. Maybe I don't have good content to start with. I don't know. I don't know what that means. But I know I appreciate all you guys, and I know I appreciate the chat for coming. But why are my live shows better than my videos? And my videography is pretty damn good. So it must be lacking Bigfoot evidence content, right? I mean, that's the way I look at it. I got to get better. So live shows when appropriate. I'd like to do 2 a month. I'd like to do every other Saturday night. So I won't do one next Saturday. I'll try to do one the following Saturday. And if I don't come on, I'll try to post a slate saying no show tonight, but it's just because I'm working on something. I promise you, I'm working on something, and I already got. You will not believe what I've done in 3 days. Besides finding the damn bird, I've done a lot. I'm getting ready to purchase some more stuff, but so 2 times a month, not 4. I'm going to update you on my progress. I always will. I like showing raw footage. I will continue to show raw footage, but something I'd like to add is time-lapse photography. I really like video time-lapse, and I'd like to show you all time-lapse photography and show you the change of the forest over 2 hours, what that looks like. I like the experiment we did where we ran the static cam and let it run for an hour and 20 minutes. I called it watching paint dry, but you know what? That's a pretty valid way to go about looking for the big ape man in the woods, I think. And I want to do more of that. I got 2 cameras. I haven't been taking them, but my new plan, I'm going to be doing that static camera every time I go out on a second tripod, and I'm going to be doing something else with the other tripod. I got a plan. Time lapses, night vision. I expect to be out there at least into, I want to do an overnight. I'm still not there. There's probably a place in the Green Swamp I'd feel comfortable doing it because I've been there. But I'll do it. I'll get there. But I need more night vision. I need more thermal vision. I need to be out there, not at 7, 8, 9 till noon. And plus, it'd be cooler. It'd be good on my old sagging body. And of course, animals. I really want to add animals to my arsenal of B-roll. There's a channel, and I'm gonna do a show on my favorite channels, guys. I'm gonna do a show on my favorite channels and why. But there's a channel out there, Unexplained World or something like that. Gary, I don't know if anybody watches that. There's a couple of bushcraft ones I watch. The new bird guy I've fallen in love with because I like his accent and the fact that he seems to know a lot about how to settle into the forest and how to blend in and how to disappear. I think I've been told that by countless people on the side that I've never even talked about, of telling me how to do that, and I've ignored them. I need to circle back. I think I'm afraid of blending in and then something coming up and sitting on my lap. But anyway, I'm ready. I can now go all the way across the backyard without freaking out. So anyway, that's kind of where I'm going. That was my 20-minute TED Talk. Do I have anybody still here? It looks like I have some people here. So I'm at 51 minutes. I need to work on that. But anyway, I'm going to open this up and start talking to you guys. But I want to thanks to several Bigfoot friends and channels and chat members for their guidance. And you guys know who you are. You guys, I mean, it's everyone I text, everyone I email, on all multiple channels. I'm not caught up in any feuds. I'm not going to go there. I believe that you can be personable to everyone and fill in where needed for everyone. And I still pledge to do that. I have no problems doing that, and I hope I can still do that moving forward. So the big question, what are you, and I brought it up, what are you, the viewer, going to do? The listener. And I want to put that out there because you guys are in chat. You know, I hope you continue to support my efforts. And I hope you find my personal journey worthy of your viewership. Because I am going to change this up a little bit. It's not going to be all. I'm going to crank it up a notch. I hope you find or stay engaged in the chat. Those asking questions, and I think you all know that when you all leave a question for me in the chat, I usually, even if I'm on another channel, if I'm a co-host or if I'm on a channel and people engage in the chat, I'm there, man. I go back and I usually watch every show I'm on. I've been very lucky to be invited on great shows. If it wasn't for those shows, I don't think I would have anybody here tonight. So, man, thanks for all that. But you guys in the chat, man, you're so important. Every show has a different type of chat, but it doesn't matter what type of chat it is. But you don't realize that you are the fuel. You are why all of us, every channel, no matter how different, sensational, non-sensational, serious, whatever, if there's no chat, you know, why go live? So that's important. So I hope you guys stay engaged and ask questions. So, did I get through that? I don't know. So that's my story. That's all I really had for you today. I have not even looked at the chat. So if you had questions, I am now on two screens. Let me end this. Stop screen. Am I stopping the right one? Okay. Whew. So, I still have people here, so hopefully I haven't pissed off anybody. If anybody has any questions, I'll scan right now. If anybody wants to add to this, I don't know how you can. I don't even know what to say. But you all have my email. If somebody wants to, you know, pop on and if I misspoke, especially if I've misspoke about anything or represented something not correctly, I mean, come on, you know. But anyway, so I'm scanning through. Okay. I appreciate Leon. I always do. You know that. And Mogs, man, it was awesome meeting him at the yeah, and he agrees. They all do know their importance. I think he's referring to the chat there. And I know they do. I just wanted to reiterate that. So anyway, TED Talk. You wish, LOL. Oh, actually, yeah, that's been talked about, but not in Bigfoot world. But anyway, that's another story. Okay, Matt, would a camera that uses film be better as it hasn't so much electronic output? Good question. You know, I'm going to default and say I don't know enough about the electronic interference. I know what everybody's referring to. I know why you asked that. I know that there's been talk about it. My camera has been freaking out the last couple of times. As a matter of fact, I knocked it over last week, and I think I hit it hard. What I did is I put it behind we have hardwood floors throughout the house. I walked to the door and I set it behind my recliner. I went and put it in my bag and everything away, forgot the camera. Went and grabbed the water, sat down the chair, pushed it back, hit the camera, threw over, and man, it made the harshest racket you've ever heard. And the last couple of times out, I think you all saw it. I said, hey, and look at my video signal. Look how wavy it is. I think I may have actually damaged my camera. So I can't really comment on that. I really don't think it's going to make a difference to me. And I don't think film to modern day sensors is really going to make a difference. Digital has come a long way with film shooting low light. Back in the day, we're talking 70s, 80s, 90s, we pushed film up to 1600. And when you push film, you have to over process and over agitate. And when you over process and over agitate, you get grain, which in electronic world is noise. So it's tit for tat. It really is. I wouldn't want to put it this way. If I went out Bigfooting and I had a film camera, I would never get a live show done. I would never get a video done. You'd be processing film, which takes about 30, 45 minutes to process your film and dry it, make contact sheets, and then you got to print it. I mean, it'd be insane to even consider Bigfooting with a film camera nowadays. Now, I am going to buy the Patterson 16 millimeter. I am looking for it. I thought I had it. I bought one, then now I sold it, and now I'm going to buy another one, the actual one. I am going to buy that camera. They still make 16 millimeter film. I am going to go out with my new technique of how I'm going to do things, and I'm going to shoot some footage on a 16 millimeter. And then I probably will bring it up, and I'll make sure I shoot the same thing on video. And I will do a split screen and do a pan and show you as the camera's panning the difference between 16 millimeter film back in the day and what you have now. It should be an interesting experiment. I've been talking to Curious Cryptid on that. It's a ways off, but I'm definitely going to do it. If anyone else, I'm scrolling backwards, so if you put a new question in there, I'm just making sure anybody else has anything. Mose, hey, hilarious, man. I do. I wear my I do wear my emotions on my sleeve, so that's a true statement. Very observant too. Let's see. I'm just scanning back here. Yeah. Max is talking about bringing an arborist in to his circle of research knowledge. I think that's an excellent idea. Like having an audio guy, like having a photographer, like having a researcher. I tell you, one thing we're lacking, I think, and I mean, Tim researches, I research. I mean, Marie, I know researches, but I'm talking about the areas we go into of really getting the typo maps, really plotting things out, marking our structures, marking interesting finds, and really looking at a map. Because the whole purpose, if you think about it, of data collecting is to see things that are repeating, see patterns, and that sort of thing. And without it, you're not seeing it. And, I should have known that. I mean, I run at the TV station. I help with the call center. And the one thing we use for the call center is repeated phone calls on a repeated problem. And if the problem is being repeated over and over and over, or viewers are sensing that there's an issue with a water bill or electric bill, and all of a sudden everything shot up 600%, then that's a pattern. And then that's when we turn the investigators loose on it. We should be doing the same thing in the Bigfoot world. So anyway, JC, Matt, you're through the newbie test and passed. Now move forward with growing your skills and having fun. Yeah, I mean, JC, that's it. Is that the fun turned into not being so fun once we captured those audios and I ran with it. I had too many people to vet that through before I posted that video, and then I wouldn't have had goo-boo all over me. But that's fine. I'm sensitive, but I got broad shoulders. I'm just scanning down to the recent guys, so I don't know. Ramiel, Matt, you gave us a hint that you may experiment doing solo field research sometime. I started off doing solo research, so my first 20 videos or so were all solo. I'm not saying I'm not going out with my group of friends I've already met, but what I am saying is I'm not going to go out with a group of friends all at once. Well, take that back. If we're back to scouting an area and I feel like a day hike, I will go out, but I'm going to go light. And then my mind just right then said, and that's when you'll see the Bigfoot, because you're going to take that stupid Lumix of yours on a stick again and have the crappy footage. See where I do overthink too much. But I think when you go out with that many people, the chances of really seeing anything, my opinion, is slim to nothing. I think we just need to look at an area and scout it and enjoy the hike and enjoy the day. But I've done solo before. I just haven't done solo since I had that one instance with the tree fall on me. Not on me, but at me. When the tree broke and fell and the owls went off and all that stuff, I just freaked out a little bit and got out of Dodge. So I'm trying to click on something to get. I don't know how to get out of this when I don't know where the original quote is. Okay, so I don't see anything else. I don't see anything else. Let me check one other thing. Okay, so if there's any questions I haven't asked, I did want to go back to the solo thing. What I plan to do is I'm planning on doing a little bit of solo stuff, but it's not going to be, miles and miles out, but it will be some areas that I thought were promising. And I'm just going to do it in a more clandestine way, more cloak and dagger, more stealth, more sit time, learn the forest, learn the sounds, be a part of the forest instead of trampling through the forest. Does that make sense? I think if I sit there long enough, I'll be able to use the bird app on the spot and say, and literally start. I want to be to the place where I hear, beep, 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 beep. That's a crow. Beep, 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 beep. That's an owl. I literally want to be that guy. I want to know every sound. That's a cricket. That's a frog. That's a gator. I mean, after what I just went through, I think I probably could. I think I probably could do that almost now. Probably better than most. But anyway, that's where I'm at. I think what I'm going to do is, I still have to go retrieve a trail cam that's been out almost 2 months now. So yeah, I'll take one or two people out for that, or I don't mind trampling out there with the whole group and picking up a trail cam if anybody wants to go. I don't know. I could probably go tomorrow, but yeah, I don't mind that. But it's just when I'm doing serious Bigfoot research, I just want to go out with one person and I want them to do what I'm doing, or at least agree that the day we go out as two, this is the way it's going to be. Now, I have no problem if we want to go out as 2 or 3 and me do my thing and the other 2 do theirs, but they need to do it away from where I'm at. So that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. And then we can all meet back at the car, say, hey, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, meet back at the car. I have no problem with that. But that gives you a hint on what I'm going to do. And it is going to be a sit still, listen, and figure out a way to do that. And I can't get back to my computer screen here. It's frozen. I can't get off my banners. I can't click off. Oh, there you go. Watch me close out the show. Okay. There you go. Guys, I don't see yeah, and that's part of it too. I hear that more and more and more. Go camping, be yourself, act normal. A lot of good ideas on that. I have like a lot of ideas on that. And I also have some ideas of going solo at a primitive camp in Green Swamp and just hanging out with my truck nearby. But I think I could do it because I've been there and I know it's a straight road out. It's a long road that you're being chased, but it's a straight road out. Oh God. But I wouldn't mind doing that with a second person. It's not saying I have to be solo, but I wouldn't mind having a person for a couple times. But I do want to make it small. Like, one time if Joey wants to go, Joey and I'll go. Next time if Tim T and I want to go, Tim T and I'll go. If Marie and I want to go look for structures, I want to Marie and I just want to narrow down the days where I'm actually researching, because I'm going to actually take on that title. I've never considered taking it on before, but the journal is going to come out. The documentation is going to come out. The data is going to come out. When someone asks me, what do you have? I don't want to point to videos on my channel. I want to have legit data. So all that's coming out, and I just want to be able to do it in a way and do it for a year and see if it makes a difference. Maybe it won't make a difference. I think it will. So that's it. Well, guys, we're at an hour and 7 minutes. So this will be, I appreciate you all hanging in there. If you didn't comment, shoot me an email. Let me know what you think. If you think I'm a jerk or crazy, tell me that. I don't care. It's just what I think I need to do for myself if I'm going to do this. I just don't want to be another whack job out there and trying to make a difference in some way. So anyway, that's what I got, guys. I'm going to end this. I really appreciate everyone being here. There's been a lot of people that's helped me, and you know who you are, from my team locally to some big names out there that's actually let me go out with them. So I appreciate it. So that's it. That's all I got. Thanks.